Hi everyone, it's me, Spring, the fiber enthusiast, and welcome to the channel. So today is going to be the tutorial style, me learning how to cross stitch, and I am welcoming anybody and everybody to comment your tips and tricks for how you might do something with the cross stitching that might be easy or easier than what is explained in generic, instructions, and if it works better for you. Now, I will link down below the video that I used to help me understand how to get started and move through this. Now, with this particular kit that I received through a collaboration with Grade 7. Now, their information will be linked down below, and they are also having a Black Friday sale. So as of right now, when this is being recorded, all of that information will also be down in the description box, and as well as the link to Grade 7. So this was a collaboration with them, and one of the videos that they asked me to make was something tutorial style. So in this kit that you receive, it's got everything you need. It contains the cotton fabric, the cotton thread, the needle, and the instructions. And for any of you that are wondering, this is pattern The Magical Unicorn 36406. It is a 14 count, 14 by 17 centimeter. So let's see here, just out of curiosity. So they measure from outside to outside of the fabric. Yep, they measure from outside to outside. Now the picture itself in the center will go by inches, is just over 3.5 inches wide and 5 inches in height. Now that's the picture itself. If we go centimeters, we're looking at 9 by 12.5 centimeters. Okay, so the very first thing that I notice is this is a printed fabric, and on the fabric it gives you a number and DMC color, and you get a bigger chart, and in the chart it shows you what letter or number and color, and then you take it over here and you look for that number that you're going to use. So in my case, I will be starting with number 17 because that is the center of this project. So how I learned from this other channel, which was very helpful, you fold the fabric in half, making sure that your picture is in half. Then you fold it in a half again, once again, making sure that you're getting it directly in half. Once you have done so, you can open it up and you will find the center of that picture. Now, if I pull the graph over here, the very center of the picture, the very center letter is G. Now, from my understanding, this is a meaning 14 count. It is 2 threads being used at one time. So that is how we're going to work this. So when you get your thread, you can separate it and use one thread. you should be able to get 6 out of this particular DMC. You can use one thread, so you separate it out from the rest. And this was very, very interesting to me. So you take your thread and fold it in half, like such. Bring it all the way up here till there's a loop. Then you're going to take that loop, and I'm going to use a needle threader just to make this easier, and bring this loop through your eye of the needle. As soon as I get it, there we are. So then you take that loop and you stick it in the needle threader and pull it through your eye. Okay, through the eye of the needle, like such. Okay, now what he showed was to bring that loop up just a little bit, and then take and bring the tip of your needle up and place it through that eye. Now, when you pull the needle to the end of the loop, what that does is it creates a little knot on there. So now, out of one thread, we have our 2 threads that is required for the stitch. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the center square. The very center square is this blue one right in here. Now I'm going to go to the bottom corner of it, if I can find the right one here. There we are. I'm in it now. Okay, and then you pull that thread all the way up, just leaving a tail on the back so that way you can sew that in like you're supposed to. Okay, so now I have it. Oops, I almost pulled it all the way through. And I did. Okay, let's do that again. This is all part of learning. Like I said, I really encourage you to share your tips and tricks down in the comments section. So not just myself, but other viewers can check out your tips and tricks. All right, I've got it. It's not going anywhere now. And now we're going to go to the opposite left-hand corner up here and go through that hole of the fabric. And now we're going to, let's see, it showed in the description. We go back to the bottom of that square and go on the left side of the square. So hopefully we can keep this in view here. Bottom left-hand side, and now you're going to pull that through. And now you'll go to the top right-hand hole of that little square. So this is a woven fabric. You have, essentially what you have is threads going this way. And then you have threads going this way. And what it does when you are weaving it, which I have weaving demonstrations, tutorials, when you're weaving it, it creates this basket effect, up and down. So that is what we're working, is that little fabric itself. For example, this is a design on some woven fabric, and there is a tutorial, or it is a woven fabric with design, and it is actually a tutorial that I have out and available. So what you have here, what you see is this green is the threads that go up and down this way. The white is the threads that go this way. So in doing so, that has created these little itty bitty squares of fiber, your thread. Okay, so that's basically a bigger version of what we're working with the exception this is actually a pattern woven into the fabric. But it gives you a general sense of what you're looking at. So we're kind of going in, let me get something a little bit bigger here. So what we're doing is we're going into the hole next to the square of yarn here. So if I was to pick this back up, you can see here these little squares. So you're going into the holes that surround that square. I hope that that helps make sense as to what kind of fabric this is. But there's the first stitch. So now I'm going to work on the next stitch. Let's see if I can get to the end here. So I'm going to go to the next stitch directly to the left of it, and I'm going to work just this blue stuff here. And I'm going to work from the center out. So here we go. We're going to go back into the bottom right to top left. Let's see if I can get this. Now, I don't have any of the little embroidery or cross-stitch rings, so I'm having to do this holding it here. So I'm bottom right, I'm pulling the thread through, and now I'm going to go directly up to the left. So top right, or top left, I'm sorry, and pull that through. Then I go bottom left, top right. And I'm working that same little square here. Okay. Now I move to the next one. Again, we're going to start into the bottom right to top left. Bottom left. To top right. So all we're doing is creating these little crisscrosses, hence the reason it's cross stitch, I would assume. So here we are, we have these little crosses. Now I'll do the next one. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more and hopefully get you to really see what I'm doing. All right. So we start in the bottom right. So I'm going to the very next one over, bottom right. Top left. bottom left, to top right. And there's the next stitch. We'll do one more together here. Bottom right of the next little block, to top left, bottom left, to top right. Okay, so there's our first little set of stitches here. I have one more square and then I jump over and do that one. Okay, so I'm going to continue to work on this. I'm going to come back when I've either reached another color or I've completed a full section. And I want to show you the different techniques that I may have picked up along the way. And we will come back and finish it up with a final overview of this particular cross stitch and what I think of cross stitch. Remember, this is my very first time doing this, so please, constructive criticism only. Absolutely appreciate it and would absolutely love to hear from you in the comments section, your tips and tricks. I will be back when I get to a point that things seem to be moving along a little bit better, or if I run into a problem. So I have finished 2 colors. I finished the white and this cream colored one. So I finished all of that stitching on here. And now I'm going to do just a little bit more this pink right here for the heart. It's actually 2 different color pinks, so I chose the one that had the most. And we're going to work on it together. And then I'm going to call this video good. I think I have the hang of it now. I'm going to zoom in so you can see what I'm doing here. Now I'm going to find that stitch down here in the bottom and pull the needle and thread up through it, leaving a little tail on the back to deal with later. Okay, so now I'm going to go into that spot and pull it through. Now I'm going to come up through, move that over so that way we can see, maybe. I'm going to come up through this area right here. Like such. And then down into the opposite corner. Okay. So that is the first square. Okay. Now for these 3, I'm going to attempt to do the, I think it was called a running stitch. I can't remember. I'm sorry, y'all. Let's see. Or a continuous stitch, something like that. Anyway, I'm coming up through that corner. I'm going to go to the upper left-hand corner of the first little square here. Now I'm going to come back to the next square, bottom right. Okay, bottom right, and go upper left again. And we're going to do that for one more square. And upper left of that square. And now we're going to go the opposite direction. We're going to go bottom left to upper right. So coming from the bottom left and go into upper right. And there's our cross. So now we got to do that 2 more times. Let's see if I can do this. There we go. This is definitely easier not trying to look through the camera. So if I keep falling out of view, I'm so sorry. It's just I am trying to see it. And I'm having a difficult time trying to view these little squares through the camera here. All right, there we go. All right, the last little square here. There we go. Okay. So there's the little crosses. At one point, I accidentally had 2 threads, and you will see there is a very, very thick spot here. So it was 4 threads thick, and this over here is a little thinner, much better than here. And I didn't realize it until I was quite a ways into it that I accidentally grabbed 2 threads, which made 4. So at any rate, this is what I'm doing still. I'm working on this, and let me zoom out so it quit wiggling all over the place. Okay, so I am working on this still. I got quite a bit done, but there's just, you know, little bits left. And I just wanted to bring you back to show you that I learned that stitch there where you go across several squares at a time and then come back. That was pretty cool. Overall, it's been an easy project. It is definitely still stressing me out, but I'm getting there, and slow and steady wins the race. So I hope that you have enjoyed watching me try to learn how to do this cross stitch. And again, please feel free to check out that tutorial down in the description box of where I learned the basic starting fresh, not knowing anything. That particular person did an excellent job of explaining it to the point that I could understand it very easily. So I encourage you to check that out as well. And all of the links for Grade 7 will be down in the description box, as well as their Black Friday sales. Now, those sales are only good for a period of time, but there will be a discount code down in the description box as well, and that is good unlimited. So you can check that out as well if you are interested in doing any type of cross stitch and ordering cross stitch. Be blessed, be a blessing, and thank you for watching. Bye for now.